So are you paranoid yet? Huh? Because my paranoia level is about right here. But it's steadily going up each day, bro. When I walk outside, I don't know what is which. I don't know what's an animal. I don't know what's a drone. I don't know what's an animal looking like a drone. I don't know anymore, bro. I'm just quiet. I'm not saying nothing, not trying to incriminate myself, nothing. I don't know. But we back with another drone video, man, to see what's going on in the drone world, see what was new and captured. This video is, if this drone didn't capture this, no one would believe this. So we're gonna check this video out, man. If you're new, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button and join the fam. Let's check it out.
Technology always seems to find a way to sneak up on us. What used to be impossible sci-fi fantasy is now commonplace in tech today, from smartphones to flying flamethrowers. But at the top of our list is definitely drone cameras. With drones, rumors and myths can now be seen publicly, along with some unintended surprises.
You guys are ready to receive the order, correct?
Accurate.
It's cleared for launch. Let's make some history.
So, if you're curious, here's a glimpse at 15 weird things caught on camera by a drone. Uncovering the line. While we often only hear about secret expansion projects, this drone footage has given us a sneak peek at what appears to be a giant megacity being built in the desert. What we're looking at is presumed to be construction of the Line Megacity, essentially a sci-fi utopia brought to life and meant to house over 9 million people in Saudi Arabia. From what's been revealed about the development, the line will be designed with 100% renewable energy and supported with AI services and goods. It's also expected to be 500 meters tall and surrounded by giant mirrored walls as well as lush, vibrant gardens. Talk about a dream city. Skeptics doubt that such a design is actually impossible, even with billions of dollars to support it. Many assume that development would never start. But this viral drone footage may have changed some cynical minds. The end goal still seems far out from today, but the drone video does clearly seem to be showing the foundation of a large city. We'll have to give it a few more years and check back in again to see just how realistic this dream city might be. Now let's get ready for today's missing topic. This photo looks like it could be taken out of an old war video game, but there's actually a bit of a story here. What you're looking at is a drone shot of an abandoned tank graveyard hidden away somewhere in Siberia, Russia. The drone pilot goes by the name of Lana Sador and posted this guerrilla-style image to Instagram and Reddit.
So I never really thought of where tanks go after they're no longer in use. Do we have one here? A tank like graveyard? I never thought about that, but now seeing this, where's ours? It's a good question. Like, where's our tank graveyard?
It immediately gained some traction and raised a lot of important questions, such as who left these tanks here and are they still operable? Lana claims that they're too far from any border to be on standby, and most of them do look like they need heavy repairs. But as one commenter pointed out, there are some empty patches along the rows of tanks with dead grass that hasn't grown in yet. Could this mean that the tanks are still being moved around? It takes a brave photographer to fly a drone in space like this, so let us know what you think of this picture. Comment with hashtag missing topic and tell us if you think these tanks are fully retired or just in need of some elbow grease. And
something, because that's a lot of money sitting right. I keep blinking is green. That's all going through my mind. That's a lot of money out there in that graveyard.
Maintenance. Hey, did you know that if you smash the like button, subscribe, and click the notification bell, you're more likely to win the lottery? So what are you waiting for? Scouting for sharks. Did you know that shark attacks are actually really rare? It's been said that you're much more likely to be struck by lightning than ever attacked by a shark, but that doesn't change how scary it is to see them in the wild. Fortunately for these surfers, a 14-year-old drone...
Right there, stop right there. Look at his size compared to that surfer on his board. Look at the size of that. There's no reason I should be out here this exposed to sharks. Bro, like if that shark just felt like, you know what? I don't feel like messing with him. You know what? Maybe I do feel like messing with them. And he just turned and gun it for them. Ain't nothing stopping him.
pilot managed to give them all a heads up, as well as some pretty cool footage to remember the occasion. The drone footage was filmed by aspiring wildlife drone photographer Zach Berman. He was originally monitoring shark activity with his father until he noticed one shark straying towards the nearby group of surfers. Zach was able to alert the surfers of the shark by flying his drone directly above it until everyone eventually fled to shore. It's important to note that there are plenty of seal colonies nearby, a true treat for hungry sharks, so these sightings are actually pretty common. Two of the surfers even decided to dive back in even after watching Zach's footage. Maybe
y'all are crazy. Crazy. Let me just say that to you so you know how I feel about it. You're crazy. You don't go right back out there and dive back in the water. Y'all are sick, man.
next time they'll heed the shark warnings, but chances are they'll still try to catch that perfect wave. Thermo-seeking pythons. From sharks to snakes, these are usually the kinds of animals you want to stay far away from. But this team in the Florida Everglades seems to have found a new way to hunt lethal pythons without having to get too close. A Miami-based tech startup company teamed up with snake hunters Bill Booth and thermographer Bart Brunei.
And look at that, you seen that, right? As soon as he walked up, that snake already seen him. He started already coming towards him.
Startup company teamed up with snake hunters Bill Booth and thermographer Bart Brunei to track down invasive Burmese pythons using infrared thermal tracking drones. That may seem a bit complicated, but the team is basically using heat vision to find snakes from afar. These Burmese pythons are generally difficult to find in their natural environment, often cloaked by sawgrass and swamps. They're an invasive species to Florida ever since Hurricane Andrew destroyed a python breeding facility back in 1992. The pythons were unintentionally released into an environment without any natural predators, leaving them to hunt and grow their population over the last few decades. With well over 100,000 of them teeming up the Everglades, Florida has organized a python hunt, offering over $200 for each python eliminated along with its nest and eggs. That's where thermal imaging and drones come into play. Even though pythons are cold-blooded creatures, they do provide unique heat signatures while incubating their eggs. These thermal-equipped drones are able to pick up that heat signature and make a much easier and safer experience for hunting these Floridian threats. Thermographer Brunei claims that they now only need 5 teams of hunters with drones as opposed to dozens of teams on foot.
Hey, I'm all for them. Get them whatever they need, bro. Get them whatever they need. If they can catch these jokers, yeah. Get them whatever they need, man. I support them.
You could say they found a way to really blaze through these python trails. Historical ship sadly sinks. It's not every day that you get to see history made. Thanks to this drone footage, we can actually relive the sinking of a historical warship, the Tamaroa, anytime we want. The Tamaroa, originally called the USS Zuni, has a well-documented and exciting past, having outmaneuvered submarine-infested waters in the Battle of Iwo Jima during World War II and surviving The Perfect Storm in 1991. That's right, The Perfect Storm was a book from 1997 and a well-known movie starring George Clooney. They're both inspired by this ship's real expeditions. It managed to save 7 people while overcoming 40-foot waves off the New England coast, which is quite the nautical feat. The ship was eventually sent down roughly 33 nautical miles off of the coast of Cape May in New Jersey. Holes were pre-cut into the hull to help it sink more efficiently, as well as all interior paneling and insulation being completely stripped. Ships like these are usually scrapped for metal when they finally reach that point of no return, but because of the Tamaroa's history, many veterans hoped it could become recommissioned as a nifty museum. Unfortunately, the damage was too great, and it was set to sink alongside other military ships as part of the fully man-made Del Jersey Land Reef that connects New Jersey, Delaware, and Maryland. Some think this is much more preferable to becoming scrap metal. If you want to see the ship, all you need to do was put on some scuba gear and dive in. Transporting transplants. Drones offer a variety of uses other than simply photography and video recording. You could even say that they're tiny helicopters in a way. This particular drone made the news by being one of the first successful unmanned aircrafts to deliver a donor kidney to the University of Maryland Medical Center, saving a kidney failure patient just in time. The drone is custom made and the size of a washing machine, using a nested box.
Now that act right there, what that drone just did, to me, can wipe out all the negative, bro. Saving a life like that in critical time. Like, anybody in the medical field will tell you, bro, time is of the essence. And to be able to transport and get somebody a kidney in a timely manner, man, to where you save their life, oh, I'm for it, bro. I'm for it.
To carry the necessary organ. It's an 8-rotor drone and fully equipped with communications gear and backup batteries. There's even a parachute in case of a bumpy landing during a major malfunction. The challenge of building this life-saving drone was sticking to the federal and state regulations for drone usage, especially in urban, densely populated areas. One wrong nudge or bump could cause serious damage, putting the pressure on the engineer and drone pilot during these emergency situations. More and more of these drones are shipping out, some delivering medical supplies in Rwanda and other African nations, while the rest are gearing up for American needs as well. Medical deliveries, especially organ transplants, are very time-sensitive and difficult to safely carry. Drone delivery is potentially expected to cut these transits by 70%. This particular flight took roughly 10 minutes and traveled 2.8 miles to deliver the donor kidney, proving that technology truly can save lives.
That's amazing right there. Like, you can't get no better than that.
Locusts versus drones. Hopefully you've never run into a bug infestation quite like this. Locusts are widely known for their ruthless destruction of crops, and India is currently facing the worst of them. Instead of footage from a drone, what we're seeing is a repurposed drone doing its best to ward off this huge locust storm with insecticide spray. Drones are much more nimble and safer to get a great vantage point on the locusts, but it may not be enough to stop them all. India is the world's second biggest producer of rice and wheat, so you could say these locusts are doing some major damage on a worldwide scale. It's gotten so serious that the Ministry of Civil Aviation had to amend rules to permit state government officials to use drones at night, speeding up the locust elimination. These tactical drones are just one of many experiments being conducted to take out all of these bothersome bugs. Fire trucks and blaring loud music have also been used to scare them away, but only temporarily. Helicopters are being deployed to spray insecticide in addition to the drones, but only time will tell how these crops fare in the long run. Perhaps these locusts will decide to bug someone else. A new way to bring down your cat. The more things change, the more they stay the same. And cats climbing down.
I know firefighters would love this, bro. You know what I mean?
Dangerously.
This is normally a fire department call right here. Then it's up there on this pole with these what's the lines, the electric lines. They're up there, so now you got to get the dang, y'all got to bear with me. It's been so long since I've been a firefighter, bro. But you got to get the electric company out there to possibly shut off the lines to the pole. Get the fire truck out there, the ladder truck out there, and you got to raise up and then try to get this cat and hope this isn't one of these mean cats. Like, you know what I mean? So yeah, you got to get the power company, shut down the power first, then you got to get the ladder truck up there and hope he's not a mean cat. Yeah. I know firefighters would love this.
High poles does not seem to be changing anytime soon. The cat in question is named Grim, and he sure was facing a grim situation at the top of this utility pole. The Wyoming family that Grim belongs to was desperate to get their house cat back. They even brought out a sheet to be stretched as a safety net, just as a precaution if he were to fall. When the local sheriff finally arrived
How did he even get up there?
on the scene, they immediately sprung into action and launched a drone out. We don't quite know if the drone was meant to actually catch the cat or simply survey the situation from a better angle. While Grim didn't seem to mind the heights all that much, he was definitely spooked by the oncoming drone. As the drone moved in closer, Grim decided he had had enough time in the sky and began to climb back down on his own. It turns out the floating feline was safe all along, but this cat definitely wasn't wasting one of his 9 lives trying.
Oh, so he was just up there chilling, sunbathing pretty much. Yeah. They like, what is all the fuss for? I'm fine, everybody.
To mess around with a flying machine. No chimps were harmed. No one likes nosy neighbors, but unfortunately privacy laws don't apply to chimpanzees, so these primates took matters into their own hands. At the Royal Burger Zoo in the Netherlands, these filmmakers were hit by an unwelcome surprise while using a drone to record footage for a new show. The enclosed chimps were originally meant to be observed from a distance, but one in particular didn't seem so keen on his public debut. As you can see here, this chimp came prepared with a stick, ready to bring that drone down as soon as it came close enough. According to the zookeepers, the entire clan of chimps descended on the downed drone and promptly tore it apart to never fly again. Fortunately, the GoPro attached to the drone managed to withstand most of the damage, so you can check off chimp attack on that endurance test. One YouTuber responded, "And this is how the real Planet of the Apes started. If we have to choose between apocalyptic robots and a Planet of the Apes, so far it looks like the apes are winning." Safer search and rescues. So far, we've seen many practical uses for drones that you may not have expected. In this instance, drones are the perfect scouting tool that these hikers were definitely grateful for. In Douglas County, Colorado, these two hikers and their dog were rescued thanks to a drone after wandering off their intended trail. The Devil's Head Trail in Colorado's Pike National Forest is very much an exciting place to visit, but getting hopelessly lost in the wilderness probably won't make for a pleasant trip. More than 24 people responded in an attempt to find the lost hikers, including foot searchers, ATVs, a K9 team, and of course, the drone UAV team. UAV is short for Unmanned Aerial Vehicles. The dispatched drone works as a navigation tool, allowing the search team to scout much further and faster than anyone on foot. By relaying this footage to all teams, the search can avoid unnecessary dangers and blocked paths, as well as investigating from a bird's eye view. It just took over 2 hours before emergency responders had found the missing hikers, and the drone was a major help in the operation. A spokesperson from Douglas County said that the hikers almost immediately asked how much this ordeal was going to cost them. The rescue team wanted to remind everyone that if you ever find yourself needing help in the wilderness, it's the policy of all professional search and rescue teams in Colorado to not charge for services. That being said, drones aren't exactly cheap, and the team is an all-volunteer nonprofit organization. If you want to contribute, they do accept and rely on donations. Maybe one day, you'll even get a chance to be found by a drone you helped sponsor.
No, no, I would hope I never have to be found by any drone, bro. I don't want to know what that feeling feels like at all. To be lost, that could be, I just imagine how that can feel, bro. Just what your mind would absolutely do to you. You know what I mean? How it would play tricks on you, and how it would mess you up, stress you out, just constantly saying like, you know, I may never get found. No.
A farm field's unfortunate crack. While this may not be a flood of locusts eating their crops, a giant crack appearing in this bean field might possibly be considered worse. Drone footage was able to fully capture the amount of damage this bean field in northwestern Minnesota suffered. The field, belonging to Wayne Erickson and his family, has literally fallen into the earth. According to Erickson, he's never seen anything like it. It started as a small crack beneath the soybean fields that the family prayed wouldn't grow any bigger. Erickson's daughter even shared pictures of the small crack on social media, hoping that it could stay contained the way it was. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case. This drone footage was captured by a nearby neighbor and shows a good amount of the damage that was done, but not all of it.
Yeah, this don't look good at all, bro. Like, I don't know why. I just feel like, the biggest earthquake known to man is about to happen in this area.
The bean field fell at least 25 feet into the ground. Geologists on the scene say that the reason behind this ginormous ground crack could be a mixture of things, from recent dry weather to a drop in the river levels, and even the sudden short-lived rain that softened the dried-out dirt. It was likely a combination of all three, and what they're calling a perfect storm situation. Only time will tell if the bean field can ever recover, but with a crack like that, we doubt they'll be back. Italy's unbelievable human island. Moving on from disaster and emergency situations, drones are truly a special technological privilege that allows us to see and record amazing things we normally can't find from the ground. This aerial shot is of Centuripe, a small island town in Sicily, Italy. The footage was captured and edited by Pio Andrew Perry, who stitched together a series of images revealing the town's previously unknown five-pointed shape. The shape of the town, when seen from these images, takes on a human-looking figure, or a five-pointed star, or possibly even a swallow with spread wings. He noticed the human shape while looking at it from Google Earth and was hit with inspiration to see the shape live for himself. The maximum height of the drone wasn't actually high enough to get the full image in one go, seeing as how it was built on a hill around 2,400 feet above sea level. So Perry had to improvise a bit. It took 18 shots and 2 hours of manually editing them all together to make the resulting footage, which some online viewers immediately called out. He claims that many commenters could not believe the image was real and accused him of photoshopping and doctoring the whole thing. He said that they changed their tone and apologized after searching the city up on Google Earth themselves. A fire-powered cleanup crew. Back to the action of potentially dangerous drone usage, here we see one equipped with a flamethrower. That's right, this city-owned and operated drone in Shenyang, China has been fitted with fire-blowing device in order to burn up any stray garbage or debris on electrical wires. It made the rounds on Twitter recently, as one would expect of a local flaming metal box. It belongs to an electric power maintenance company and has actually been used for over a year. Although it looks very dangerous and you definitely don't want to get too close while in operation, the fire-breathing drone does clear out small bits of garbage and plastic that would take a lot more effort for a human in a cherry picker. The drone itself is a DJI S1000 Plus model and carries a weight of 11 kilos or just over 24 pounds. As drones become more commonplace, can you see a future where dangerous tasks like these are handled entirely by machines?
Yep.
If you ask us, a city official flame-throwing drone roaming the streets does add another point towards the oncoming robot apocalypse, but for now, we'll settle for not having to climb up electrical poles ourselves. Tiger takedown. There seems to be a reoccurring theme with animals and drones not quite getting along, or rather, the drones not lasting long when animals are involved. In this case, the unfortunate drone became a plaything for these massive Siberian tigers roaming about. The tigers, held in an enclosure in China, were fascinated and confused by the drone, not unlike your typical house cat. And if you've
But they definitely wasn't scared. You seen the way they was just standing there? They didn't fear it at all.
were fascinated and confused by the drone, not unlike your typical house cat. And if you've owned a few house cats before, what came next shouldn't be that surprising. The tigers battled and played with the drone like a strange metal bird, bumping it and following it as it tried to capture up some close shots. Once the tigers were tired of playtime, one of them took their chance and managed to swipe the drone right out of the sky. The tiger was probably just playing around, but its bite did manage to break through the carbon fiber frame and cause the machine to start smoking. Better luck next time for that perfect shot, but at least we get to see a first-person view of what a tiger attack might look like in an unusual circumstance.
That's a brave person, whoever was driving that van. I know y'all was thinking the same thing, like, who is driving that in the middle of those tigers? You brave, bro. You brave.
Nokia's breaking point. If you've ever owned a classic Nokia phone, you've probably heard about its reputation for being nearly indestructible. People have
Oh, those like the original joints, the super throwbacks. My mom had one, man. I think the only game you could play on that one was like Snake or something like that. Those the original back in the Cellular One days.
attempted to test just how durable these phones can be, often through extreme circumstances and challenges that your phone will unlikely ever encounter. In one example, a Nokia phone even managed to save its owner from a tear gas shell in Hong Kong. In this particular
He was just playing Snake, whatever the name of the game is. You see him playing it?
phone even managed to save its owner from a tear gas shell in Hong Kong. In this particular case, the question was raised, what happens when you drop a Nokia 3310 from 1,000 feet with a drone? YouTube channels decided to answer this question with their own equipment and a Nokia phone. The phone did break apart after the drop, but the pieces were easily recovered and shoved back together. The Nokia 3310, however, did not turn back on. YouTuber Christian Floor also made the same attempt with different results, where the Nokia did manage to function again after the drop.
These phones today could never do what that just did.
He tried the challenge a second time at 1,500 feet and finally found the phone's breaking point. While Nokia does make possibly the most durable phones in existence, the Nokia 3310 is not completely invulnerable to fall damage, and we have drones to thank for this extreme lesson.
You even just sneeze at these phones these days the wrong way. It's cracked.
The missing Marshman. As we mentioned previously, drones are the ideal tool for search and rescue operations in hard-to-reach areas. We're sure Peter Pugh, age 75, is thankful for drones after being found by one while lost in a deep and muddy marsh not too long ago. Pugh was out walking with friends and family when he accidentally separated from the group and couldn't find his way back. He made a wrong move somewhere towards marshland and wasn't found until the next day. By the time a police drone managed to spot him, Peter was buried deep in dense reed beds and a muddy creek. If it weren't for the scouting drone, who knows how long it would have taken to find poor Peter or what could have happened to him. He was given first aid on the spot and eventually flown out via helicopter to the Queen Elizabeth Hospital in King's Lynn. Officers at the scene admitted that they probably would not have been able to locate him in time if it weren't for the police drone, and that they're very thankful for the 21st century equipment they're funded with. The police drone provides a way to search difficult access areas that are normally out of their way. Compared to a helicopter, drones are capable of flying in a close-range proximity that is otherwise too dangerous or impossible to reach through any other means. Now that we've seen some extraordinary feats from the eyes of a flying machine, what are your thoughts on drones? Are they helpful tools for medical and rescue missions? Or perhaps a great way to see things too dangerous for human eyes? Would you consider them a possible threat to humanity set on taking over society as we know it? Let us know your opinions.
Yeah, you always got to take the good with the bad. I'm more impressed with the good that I saw today. Paranormal level still up here though, but just to know it could do a lot of the good that I saw it do today, man, is real dope for the drones. And I was trying to find out where you see like the laws at for the drones. I was looking up some the FAA to see what I could see, but I got some more research to do. But y'all get at me in the comment section though and let me know what you thought of this video, and stick around and stay tuned. I'm gone. Peace.